listening to SoFloRadio.com.
Hey everybody, welcome to the next edition of Rick's Show on the Radio. Hey, I didn't even time that one. Did you hear that?
You hit the post.
All right. Keep that music going there, David, please. All right, this song, we're still giving away that new car, right, George, on the show?
Right, we gave one away last week. It was a Matchbox.
Okay. All right, well, we got another couple
we have
of
Hot Wheels.
If anybody can identify the musical instrument that started this song, you get that free car, that free Matchbox car. Just call in. Do you know what that one is? We have a couple guests today. Our musical guest today is Queen Dementia. Yay, in the studio with us. And we have Joseph and Alana Villain from Queen Dementia. Say hi to everybody.
Hey guys, how are you? Good afternoon.
Hey, what's happening?
All right, welcome to the Rick's Show on the Radio. Here on our show, the idea is that we promote South Florida original music bands, movie makers, and world shakers. That's the reason for our show, is to promote our South Florida talent, and I'm very happy to have one of the best original bands I've seen around here, Queen Dementia. And I met these guys like a few weeks ago. We were playing a showcase up at Margate, right?
Yeah,
that's correct.
At O'Malley's.
At O'Malley's, right. I didn't get a chance to meet you there, but I was very impressed, and I, made sure that I got your contact, and I think we got some pretty cool things going on, which we'll talk about, some shows coming up, but we're here on the Rick Show on the Radio, and we're talking to Queen Dementia in our first musical segment here. Joseph, you play the guitar in the band, and Alana, you play the bass and sing.
Yep, that is correct.
All right. I know you guys have some shows coming up, but before we get going with that, I'd like to ask you basically how you guys met and how long you've been together, a little history about, a little personal history, and then the history about your band. So.
Sure, absolutely. We started up in about 2010, so we've been officially a band, and it took a little while to get the pieces together. Joe and I were writing before that, and we had some lineup changes in between since 2010 till now. But right now we are a three-piece. It's me, Joe, and Hav, and it's worked out pretty well.
Wow! So you've been married for 10 years?
No,
not quite 10.
Not quite.
Been about
No.
6 years.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, just about.
Where did you guys meet anyway?
To make a long story short, I was working in retail, and she came in to buy a keyboard. And we just, we hit it off. But we were just basically musicians, networking and exchanged cards and everything. And 3 months later, we got together and just started doing music as friends. And then one thing led to another, and here we are. I always wanted to do a musical project with a really powerful voice, and for years and years I was in so many different bands and could never quite find the right singer. And the first time I heard Alana's voice, it was just it was amazing. I mean, she has compared herself to many different musicians, but I can just say I was always looking for that pretty voice but with power, and that was exactly what I found. And from there, the songwriting has just been amazing. I've been inspired to just write in so many different directions, but this particular band, Queen Dementia, it's a very special one, and it's just been amazing, an amazing ride.
I know what you're saying about her voice, because I've been listening to your music, and you definitely have that clarity in your voice, with the power and with that little bit of angst in there. That's perfect for your kind of music.
Thank you.
So, did you guys, the kind of music that you're doing, the genre of music, were you both hit it off on that? Were you both on the same plane, or did you meet in the middle somewhere?
Yeah, pretty much. I would say we had a lot of bands that we liked in common, even like some of the older bands that we grew up listening to. A lot of overlap there. Some differences, though, which always makes it a little more eclectic in the end. The end product may or may not reflect that to people's ears, but it's there.
So
it's in there.
What kind of bands do you like, particularly? What's your background in music?
I grew up listening to metal, mostly rock, and even some death metal. You know, I went through my phases. I also love electronic music, and for a long time I was into that, and to this day I still like it and enjoy it.
What's some bands that are electronic music? What do you mean by that?
Not really bands, more like DJs playing techno and stuff like that, and trance. Yeah. Yeah, and even, I mean, dubstep took a little while for me to warm up to, but I like some of it now. Yeah, it's not too bad.
How about you, Joseph? What's your background?
My first introduction, you know, the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath. But I've always been a huge Metallica fan. I think a lot of Metallica comes out in the music, just, you know, with the guitar riffage, and you know, I think that they wrote some very memorable guitar riffs, and songwriting's always been very important to me. You know, I didn't just want to get together and do a band, make loud noise. I really wanted there to be a strong groove and catchy riffs. And when I'm writing music, you know, guitar riffs, if I write it, and if it's something that I just remember, I'm humming in my head the next day, then it's usually a keeper, and I'll work on that, you know.
Yeah. So how about your songwriting style? Do you guys work songs together, or how does that come about? How does a Queen Dementia song come about usually?
I think it varies. For the most part, I'll come up with the guitar parts and then give it to Alana, and she'll come up with the melody, and she's the main lyricist and does all the vocal harmonies, melodies. Sometimes it could be a band collaboration. More recently, we've been getting together, you know, just as a band, just jamming. And our drummer Hav, who's on his way, he has a way of inspiring the band as well. There's some cool parts when a band can just get together in a room and just play and just press record and listen back to it later and say, you know, there's some good moments there. We can build on that. That's very important, because what makes or breaks a band is whether or not all members can get together and write together. And it doesn't always happen all the time. Sometimes you write separately, but it's really important to be able to try working together and just getting into a room and just jamming, and that's where the magic is between the three of us.
So the music is one thing, but when you're talking about your, let's say, the lyrics and the subject matter of your lyrics, how do you choose that? Does the music, or the guitar riff, does it insinuate something to you, or how do you come up, or do you come in with like a subject matter or something that's on your mind that you want to fit in with something else?
It's usually not the latter. It's usually the former. In other words, I usually let the music dictate that, but it's almost not. It's almost like it writes itself. I know that sounds crazy, but
no, it's not.
It's kind of like I don't even just sit there and say, okay, I have to write now, because that can be frustrating, because nothing may come. But usually I'll just start the ball rolling somewhere during the day, or I'll come up with one line, and that'll just kick everything off and cascade from there. And usually, depending on the song and the arrangement, sometimes it could be done in one day, and sometimes it takes a while. So it varies.
Right. Awesome. So what's the first song you guys wrote together?
The first song, wow.
One that you probably haven't heard.
Yeah?
It's never usually the first song that we write together that we end up... and then again, every band's different. For us, I think it was a song called... maybe Principal Shepherd, is that what it was called?
Was that the very first?
I believe that was.
Remembering.
I believe it was either Principal Shepherd or If Never, and those are some old, early Queen Dementia songs from the vault that's never really been heard by anyone else. Maybe one day they'll come to to the surface. You never know. The first song that I felt really defined the sound of Queen Dementia was a song called Brainchild Amnesia, and just the guitar riffage. When I came up with the guitar riffs, I felt this sounds like, and this is even before we came up with the name Queen Dementia. This is the sound that I'm looking for. This is what I want the band to sound like, very groovy and very heavy. And actually, the name Queen Dementia came from a lyric in that song, Brainchild Amnesia, and that's
Good.
actually,
I was going to ask you about that.
That's I'll let Lana tell you about that.
All right, yeah, tell us about that.
Well, I guess that's kind of, that song is a little bit more important because of that. It was kind of where we started to find our sound and kind of stick with the sound. And also it just happened to be a lyric in the song, that kind of sounded cool. I'm not sure where it came from. It just, I don't know, it popped into my head, put it down on paper, and I was like, all right, cool.
It worked.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we got like a couple of your music videos we'd like to play during your segment here, but I see you brought an acoustic guitar too, so we'll wait for Hav to show up. I'm sure he's probably got.
I think he's just got here now.
Good.
Yeah, he's got a djembe drum for us. So.
All right. Well, then I'll tell you what. Let's talk about this song "Condemned." I'm gonna play that music video in a second here, but let's talk a little bit about that. When did you write that, and also about the music video? Like, whose idea? How did you come up with the concept for the music video?
When did we write that? 2010. Originally?
I think that's about right.
Yeah, maybe the end of 2010. So it's been around for quite some time, but we didn't decide to actually record it and press it until a couple of years later.
Mm-hmm.
But,
so it's evolved since then, or is it pretty much ready to go?
It's pretty much, it's like we kind of wrote a whole bunch of songs, and over time we kind of picked out the best we wanted to sit down and record to say, hey, you know, what do we want to put forward, depending on budget.
Right.
And that's the way we've done all of our EPs and the most recent album as well.
All right. And as far as like your music video history here, was that the first music video you got? Which is the first one that you guys did?
Yes, that was it. Condemned was the first one.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. If you guys don't mind, we'd like to play the music video for you. So, Queen Dementia, this is Condemned.
Classified materials. This is off limits to you. You're never, ever to see this again. You understand me? Never, never. No!
And that was Condemned by Queen Dementia. I want to ask you a little question about that video there. And the director of that video, his name is Andrew Colton.
That's
Yes.
correct, yeah.
Yep.
Right. I haven't met him yet. I spoke to him on the phone. He seems like a really great guy.
Oh yeah, definitely.
What kind of a working relationship do you have with Andrew? I mean, how'd you meet him, and how does it work out with him?
Actually, he had done a video that we stumbled upon because we're friends on Facebook and also in the scene with another band, and we happened to stumble across the video, and we thought that his work was really good. And basically, we just said, if he's done something like that, not that we want to copy it, but we definitely would like to work with someone who has that much imagination.
Right,
He did a
right.
great job with the lighting.
Sure.
It just, as a package, we were just like, he looks like the guy.
Great.
So that's how it all started.
So, still on this Condemned video, who came up with the concept for that? Did you guys work together, or how did that happen?
It was my vision, and I wrote the script, but of course we worked with Andrew for, what was going to look best and all that. A lot of planning went into that video.
Awesome.
A lot of buying things on eBay for sets and just a lot of preparation, but it worked out really well.
That's great. So, how long did it take before concept and shoot production?
It was a lot of planning that went into the video. Alana takes a lot of credit for designing and a lot of the ideas that went behind it. Of course, Andrew was great. He was very creative himself, and with Andrew, we just liked for him to do his thing, get inspired. And of course, when we met with him, he really liked the band. That was really important too. And he's easy to work with. He's a very, very talented director. And this is actually the first video of 3 we've actually done with him. And we love working with Andrew.
Well, you got a new video here. We're going to talk a little bit about that one here. This new video, it's called
Camouflage.
Camouflage, right. Heard a little bit about it. I'm not going to talk too much about it because we're planning on having a big world premiere for this video on August 16th. The event that you guys are going to be working with me on at Cinema Paradiso. It's called CineMuzique. Kind of a cool little event, don't you think? It's a transmedia event where we have live performance and with a video accompaniment and a hosted Q&A. So you come out to our CineMuzique event there on August 16th. You'll get to meet Queen Dementia, hear them play, watch their music videos, and learn about them. We'll talk to them, and the people can call in. People can ask questions while we're there. By the way, folks can call into the show while we're here. I'll give you that number. It's 954-990-0036. Or you can remember it like 99-000-36. Is that the best way to remember it? Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, so Camouflage. I'm looking forward to seeing that. You guys, it's in post-production as we speak, right?
It's almost done, and it's going to be ready for the 16th. That's when we're going to be premiering it, and we're very excited. It's just been a great collaborative effort. Yeah. And once again, we worked with Andrew on the video, and it's good. It's going to be great. You guys are going to love it.
All right. Hey, I'm going to welcome to this show Hav, who's showing up. How you doing? He plays drums with Queen Dementia. Say hey.
I'm doing okay.
Good. Glad to see you made it.
Can you hear me?
It's a little hot out there. Yeah, we can hear you all right. All right, Hav's going to jam on some, you got a djembe there. So I'll tell you what, anything you want to reveal about the music video before the world premiere or anything like that?
It's kind of a surprise.
Okay, we'll keep it a surprise, but we'll get to hear the song though, right?
Yeah, I think the song might give you a hint.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe.
All right. Well, then let's do that. Let's get you guys. This is going to be a live performance of Camouflage, where the Queen Dementia will be premiering their video at CineMuzique on August 16th. But right now, we'll listen to a live version of Camouflage.
Since you went away, I'm lost. Say you're here to stay. I can bear nothing less. can't swim that far. Your courage, strength, and bravery keep me sane. You're just an ocean away. I keep telling myself, say you're here to stay. My tears have become my friends, wishing you were here with me. You're just an ocean away. In my mind, say you're here to stay. You're just so far away, so lost. You're just an ocean away, but I can't swim that far. You always fought hard for me, and now for our country. How proud you make our family. I'm torn. Say you're here to stay. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. I'm coming home.
Awesome. Good work on that djembe there, Hav. I like that ending too. That was kind of cool. And I know what you mean about the angst in Alana's voice, Joseph.
It's pretty powerful, huh?
Yeah, it is. I got goosebumps. Can anybody see the goosebumps on the radio?
I can actually see them.
I thought it was
yes.
just cold in here.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, well that was nice.
Thank you.
So, you guys looking forward to our event at CineMuzique?
Absolutely. It's
Yes.
definitely going to, it's the highlight of our summer.
I'm excited.
Period.
Oh man, that's nice to hear. Cool. Yeah, it's a gothic metal, I'm sorry, what's the word for it? Victorian goth event. That should be kind of cool. I always like that Victorian look and all that.
Oh, yeah.
You got anything you can wear that's going to be kind of Victorian goth? I'll bet you. I think you have quite a wardrobe, don't you?
Yeah, you know I can. I probably would be a little uncomfortable to really play and jam out in, but I might be able to do it. I'll just wear flat shoes.
I think we'll fit in. I think it'll be good.
So, Joseph, tell us about Alana's closet. Does she have any clothes in that closet there? Is there any room for...
She has an outfit for every occasion, I can tell you that.
Almost.
That's great. So you've been gathering this stuff up for a long time, huh?
For a long time, yeah, definitely. Some of it actually probably needs to be retired, but most of it's still good to go.
Yeah, we saw it. If you go on Queen Dementia's website, they got a lot of really awesome pictures there.
Thanks.
You guys had some very professional-looking pictures done as well.
Thank you.
Who does that work?
It's mixed, actually. We do have a few people who, we trust, and we love their work, and we like to stick with them. Rachel is one of them. Actually, she's probably going to be at the show.
Oh, I spoke with her, yeah.
Yeah, and she's really excited about it. She does great work. Also, Julie from Lady J Productions, she's going to be at the show as well, and she's done some work for us as well.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that event. That's going to be great.
Yeah.
So, but before the 16th, you guys are going to be playing Saturday night, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Hey, Hav, tell us where you're playing Saturday night.
We're going to be playing at the Monterey Club. And that's when I met Queen Dementia for the first time.
Oh, yeah?
I saw them playing live there, and I was like, I like this band. It's pretty cool.
So did you take the drummer out back and beat him up or something like that? How did that happen?
It's the universe. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
just-
it does that sometimes, doesn't it? I kind of count on that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love that stuff. It's cool.
Yeah,
stuff.
me too. I love that. It's serendipity. Mm-hmm. I was going to get a tattoo of that word on my forehead, but I decided not to do that.
Probably a good choice.
Thank you.
That's a good choice. Isn't it?
Thank you, Joseph. I appreciate that.
We also came. We just came from Orlando as well, right?
Oh, yeah?
And, what's the name of that?
From the Haven
The
Lounge,
Haven,
yeah.
yeah.
Great venue. Then the crowd's pretty cool up there. There's really a lot of music fans, and rock is popular in Orlando.
Yeah. How about, let's talk a little bit about your experience with South Florida music scene for original music and venues that are available and, you know, the popularity of original music. What do you guys think? Have anything to say about that? Okay. I guess we need a little improvement, but I'll tell you what, that's what Rick's show on the radio is all about, to try to, you know, boost us up here. Let's get some places. You know, we used to have a really cool original music scene, I would say in the 90s, that was really happening. There was a lot of places to play. A lot of people would go to see, well, like Marilyn Manson and Black Janet, which I was played with Black Janet for a little bit. But I don't know. Nowadays, I don't know. There's not too many places. Miami's got a couple places, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's still some good places out there here in South Florida. I just think with any band, it's really important to kind of, you know, explore your horizons and you know, just not just stick to one state and just be able to travel a little bit and you know, to experiment. You want to get every venue you play at, you're going to get a different response. And so you want to get a different crowd and just be bold to be able to play with any band out there. And I like that we're very diverse. And we play with a lot of interesting bands. They don't have to necessarily be Queen Dementia style band to play with us, and we welcome the opportunity of just not just to play with one particular style of bands, but a wide variety of different bands, and that's what I really like about
Good.
this
I think
band.
we're going to do that at the CineMuzique Event because the Black Bats, who are also playing, we're going to have them next week. They're a goth band, and there's a difference between the music. Goth music is not really too much metal in it. Is that correct? Or maybe somebody can straighten me
Usually.
out on that.
There's some crossover, or there can be some crossover, but generally, I think they're just going for a different vibe. They don't have a drummer, so that completely changes the music.
Certainly
It's more
does.
like movie soundtrack versus go bang your head at a show.
Right. Yeah, I understand. I know, like, there's like goth can be anywhere from like The Cure to would you call Evanescence a goth band or not?
I would call maybe their image goth, but I
Yeah.
don't know if I would really call them a goth band. But the imagery, yeah, I would say so too.
I think when you think of the word goth, you think of like really dark sounding music and gothic themes. I like the Black Bats. I think they sound really good. They're friends of ours, and we're very excited to be playing with them. And I believe also Hypnosis will be there too.
Hypnosis as well, yes.
Looking forward to playing with them too.
Yeah.
We haven't had the chance to play with them yet.
Okay, well, we'll do that on Saturday night on August 16th. A little shout out to Giovanni from Hypnosis, who was going to be here tonight, but the poor guy broke down on 441 somewhere. So, be safe out there, Giovanni, and maybe we'll get you next week, with the Black Bats. We'll talk to them then. Yeah.
That's cool.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. You guys have another music video I'd like to play, if
Yes.
you don't mind.
Sure, of course.
But before I do that, no, let's play that. Let's do that. I want to play The Aftermath. All right, let's do that by Queen Dementia, The Aftermath.
Wipe the sweat tears from my eyes in the aftermath. I
How dare you look at classified materials? This is off limits to you. You're never, ever to see this again. You understand me? Never, never. No!
All right, thank you. That was Queen Dementia. And the Aftermath, that was a great video, too. Now, you work with Andrew on that one as well, right?
Yes, we did. That was the most recent one we did, actually. That was pretty much, I think it was April when we worked on that. So that was the last one. Didn't take too much time, but the concept was laid out beforehand, a little bit more of a collaborative effort.
Between you and Andrew?
It was kind of like everybody was in the room at that point,
Okay.
which was kind of cool. Like almost everything was laid down, but then there were some suggestions thrown in, and I kind of liked that it was more like that, you know.
Yeah, sometimes it works out better that way. You know?
It was nice. Like ideas were flying, you know.
Yeah, there's a point at which like somebody's original idea is enhanced by somebody's suggestions, but then if it gets too watered down, then you lose that
original idea.
Right? Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah, so that's always part of the creative process, though, right? Is to bang that stuff around.
Yeah, and get a good balance.
Yeah, I still want to hear about Hav beating up the other drummer and getting in, though. We didn't hear about that. So can we hear?
Hav, that's from his days.
Is that why he doesn't want to talk about it? Because nobody's actually found the body yet.
Well, he was too violent for the WWE, so only the UFC would take him. So that's he'll tell you more about his UFC days, right, Hav?
Yeah, Hav, you're like a pretty big guy, man. Let's tell us a little about yourself and why you're so big.
I eat healthy and maybe the beers. Beer.
Definitely
beer
beer
does that.
I don't know.
Protein and beer.
I've been drinking a lot of beer and it's not working for me, man. I'll drink more if you want to suggest. I'll
step it up with a couple shots of tequila.
All right.
Probably help.
All right, and that was Health Talk by Queen Dementia there. You guys want to bulk up? No, tell us. No, actually, were you involved, Hav, with the WWE there? Or not?
No.
He was just joking? No, thanks for that, Joseph.
No.
All right.
Well, once he realized the WWE was choreographed, and he said, UFC was the next thing, right, Hav?
Maybe underground. Back in the days.
I think underground fighting, right?
Yeah.
Well, you know what they say about the first rule of Fight Club, though, right?
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't talk about that.
No, we're not going to talk about that. All right, then. I know what we will talk about, though, is that awesome 7/8-string guitar sound that you got going there. You actually have an 8-string guitar as well?
Yes, I play 7-string and 8-string guitars mostly for Queen Dementia.
Man, 8 strings, that is like...
It's a lot of strings.
It's intimidating at first when you look at it. I've been playing guitar for almost 20 years and mainly 6-string guitars. And the past, 5 or 6 years, I'm always messing around with different ideas. And 7-string and 8-string guitars come in handy for the lower tunings. You can't particularly get, the lower tuning to sound as good on a 6-string, So For 7 and 8 string guitars, kind of gives it more of a fat sound. The trick is that when you hear the guitar, you don't want it to sound muddy. And some people will listen to it and they'll be like, I had no idea that was a 7-string guitar. It sounds like a 6-string. Because the trick is you want it to still make it sound like a guitar, just a little bit, darker and everything. Does it
the frequencies kind of infringe on the bass there, or does it get into that same range? I guess it does, right?
It still sounds good where we can still complement each other. You never want to drown out one other instrument. It's just basically, it just makes it sound a little bit fatter in certain areas, I believe. 8-string guitars, the biggest thing is the necks are much thicker, so you're going to be a little bit sore first couple of months playing the 8-string guitar. Once you get used to it, you got to find your comfort level, But yeah, now there are a lot of bands who are like Animals as leaders and Meshuggah who are exclusively using 8-string guitars. But basically, you want to ask yourself as a musician, what inspires you, and never be afraid to try new things. As a guitar player, I'm excited about the 9-string guitars people talk about.
What about the banjo, though? No picking up any 9-string banjos or?
No, I sold all my banjos a long time ago.
I heard this really long, elaborate joke about a banjo player, and I'm not going to tell it, but eventually what happened was the guy left his banjo in the back of it, and he went and drinking, and he came back and found his car was broken into and found 2 banjos in there.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
The rest of it was really funny, though. Anyway. So that's the last joke I'll ever tell on the Rick's show on the radio. Not really, though. I'm sure I got a million of them, by the way. Cool. A million of them. So, when I'm a bass player myself, and when I transferred over to a 5-string, it was a little bit of a, like, oh, that's not the E string, It's like, oh, I made a whole bunch of mistakes. How was that? Do you play a 5-string, Alana?
I do, and it actually, I started on a 4, like normal people do, and I guess just the sound, again, it's the deep sound, that heavy sound. I mean, we're a 3-piece, and it kind of wasn't on purpose, but it actually complements the sound, and somehow we don't cross frequencies, and it might be our settings and, how we kind of create things,
right,
even in the music and what we do. But usually the bass can be found and it doesn't get muddy, which is really good. But I find the 5-string to be okay because I really, technically I'm not schooled in music, so with the 4-string it was just the last string, so it was very easy for my mind to just transfer over and just be like, okay, so we just got a heavier sound, there's an extra string, and again the neck is thicker. It's a little bit awkward at first, but now I love it, and that's my go-to bass. Yeah,
that's great. What model, what brand basses do you play?
My main axe right now is an Ibanez 5-string. It's a K5, inspired by Fieldy of Corn.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds great. And what kind of amplifiers do you use?
I use an Ampeg head and the cab.
Is that an old SVT, or do you use a newer?
Yeah, it's a classic. Yeah, classic version.
Yeah, those are nice.
Yeah, nice sound, nice bottom.
How about you, Joseph? Are you a Marshall man, or?
No, actually, many years ago, I played Marshall, but no, I'm a Line 6 guy, both solid state and tube. But yeah, Line 6 all the way,
Yeah, Line 6 are one of the first things that one of the first amps that came out with that amp modeling technology.
Line 6 is fairly new, and the many different amps that I've used. What I like about Line 6 is if you have enough patience, you can dial in, you can get the perfect sound. And I'm a musician. I have a lot of patience, so I want to find the perfect sound. So that's what I found.
Awesome. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, Queen Dementia, we're looking really forward to working with you guys at the CineMuzique Event on August 16th. That's going to be coming up pretty soon, and I'm going to come out and see you guys at the Monterey Club.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I look
Awesome.
forward to that. That'd be cool.
All right, we're going to take a little break here, and we'd like to thank Queen Dementia for showing up on the Rick on the Radio show.
Thank
you so much. Thank you for your time.
Hey, all right. Welcome back. This is the last segment of the Rick's show on the radio, and now this is our Movie Makers segment here, and I am honored to have 2 very distinguished guests on my show here. First of all, we have Mr. Doug Rill. Doug is the chairman of board at the Burt Reynolds Institute for Film and Television, here to tell us all about that institute and South Florida actors and filmmaking community. Also, we have the venerable actor, Mr. Allan, Myles Heyman. Say hi to everybody, Allan.
Good afternoon, everybody.
All right. Or maybe we can get Allan to do some impressions and stuff like that. Or maybe we can...
Oh, you'd have to twist my arm.
No.
You'd have to twist my arm.
No, we would not have to. We'd have to keep you from doing that.
Hi, Rick. How are you? Douglas Rill here.
Hey, Doug. Pleased to meet you, sir. Very honored that you're on my show.
Pleasure to be here.
All right, then. So you guys drove all the way down from West Palm Beach? Is that where the Burt Reynolds is?
Well, the limo came and picked us up.
Of course.
Didn't you send that?
Of course I did, yes.
Right.
But I wasn't
we always
sure.
travel by limo.
I send limos all the time, so I don't know where they're coming from. So you guys came from up north then,
yes,
right?
we did. We came from the Palm Beach County area, the home of the Burt Reynolds Institute for Film and Theater Training.
So I'll tell you, Doug, why don't you tell us a little bit about your involvement with BRIFT and what's happening with them now?
Well, we call it the Burt Reynolds Institute just because the acronym is a little complicated and people don't know what you're saying. But
exactly.
The Burt Reynolds Institute for Film and Theater is a acting and facility that has been around for decades, and it obviously is named after our founding chairman, Mr. Burt Reynolds, who everybody pretty much knows.
Oh, yeah. Big fan,
yeah. And we were located for years in Jupiter. Presently, right now, we're in temporary quarters in the town of Lake Park, and we have a lovely stage, and we do performances, and we teach improv, we teach screenwriting, we teach kids, we have adult classes, fundamentals classes, and advanced master class taught by Mr. Reynolds.
Oh, man, that must be awesome. How often does Mr. Reynolds put on one of those master classes?
Every week.
Every week. So, man, if I was an actor, I'd be calling you, trying to get hooked up. I mean, I know there's a lot of people that you can go to for training, for acting and all that, but I understand that the Burt Reynolds Institute is like at the top of the list there.
Well, it's really simple. We have a phone number, and Donna's there to answer the phone almost 24 hours a day. The phone number is 561-743-9955, or you can go to the BurtReynoldsInstitute.org and look at our website and get more information.
So how did Burt start that, and when?
Well, it was actually started years ago when he had the live theater in Jupiter, the Burt Reynolds Dinner Theater, and started teaching people that were going to go to that, and it evolved over the years. It's gotten bigger and smaller and gone through several iterations, but at the present time, as I said, we're located in the town of Lake Park, and that's close to where he has to come from in order to get there. And we have a great variety and some wonderful instructors and some excellent actors like Allan Heyman and myself get the opportunity to be trained by Mr. Reynolds. I mean, look, you can learn acting anywhere, but we have the big kahuna, Mr. Reynolds.
You got Burt Reynolds there, yeah.
We got him, and to have the privilege of being directed and redirected and trained by him is just phenomenal.
Do you have, can you give us any ideas of some alumni or people, actors that have gone through the Burt Reynolds Institute there that are doing stuff these days?
Well, we do have some. I've only been there 3 years, so I don't have the ancient history on it, but I know that we do have some people now that are in L.A. and some other people. I don't know if we're at liberty to talk about where they got their training, but we certainly have some people that are doing some good things in the industry. And
what's coming up for the? You got any events or plays or anything like that coming up?
We do. We have a Avery Summers, our award-winning singer and performer, is doing a cabaret night in at the Mirror Ballroom. That's coming up on the 26th. That's a Tuesday night. And it cost all of $10 to see it. And Mr. Reynolds will probably be there, and Avery will be there and directing it, and should be a good time. There'll be songs, there'll be monologues, there'll be scenes, and all of that about an hour and a half's worth for $10. You can't beat that with a stick.
No, you can't. That's great. And so it's just the one. Is it like an ensemble cast?
It is an ensemble cast, yeah. There's about 8 people in that cast, including myself and Allan are both going to be in that performance.
Mr. Heyman over there being quiet. He's just trying to think of which voice he wants to do, right? Is that Mr. Heyman?
It gets very confusing at times, yes.
I imagine it does, being
all those people are running around in his mind.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, who do you think I should start with? I mean, I get very confused about that too.
Is that Homer Simpson?
Yeah. Well, not you. You got it. I always go back to It's a Wonderful Life. You know, where he says, "Well, Mr. Potter, you're nothing but a warped old man." And Mr. Potter looks at him and says, "Well, you're nothing but a warped young man."
That was uncanny. Uncanny. Hey, folks, if you're listening on the radio show and you want to talk to either Doug or Alan, you can give us a call at 954-990-0036 or 99-000-36. That's easy to remember that way, right? Don't you think?
Precisely.
Yeah, so give us a call if you want and ask Doug a question. Ask him, if you can join the Institute or what's going on up there. And Mr. Heyman here, as a matter of fact, I want to thank Alan for we've done some work together. He worked on a film of mine that called Forever, and we had a screening last night, and we won Best Film. Yay!
Well, that was Rick's writing.
Yes.
And directing.
Yes.
Beautiful film. The moment I read it, I wanted to do it.
Yeah, well, I thought about you. As soon as I had it done, I thought, yeah, this would be good for Alan. I know he has the facial expressions because there wasn't very much dialogue in there. Well, actually, you didn't have a word of dialogue, did you?
Well, it's one of the few times that I kept my mouth shut.
That was only when the camera was rolling. When the camera was off, you had a lot to say, of course. Yes, and you worked with our young little new actress, little Hannah Skinner, who was just turning 6 years old at the time.
Yeah, she's getting a little old now, but
yeah, she is.
But I would have her as a leading lady anytime.
Yes, well, Hannah Skinner won as Best Actress last night as well. I'm so proud of that.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't wait to bring the certificate over to her mother Hannah, her mother Karen, and her family, and give her the certificate. That's one of the things that makes it all worthwhile when you can do that kind of stuff, right?
And if you can write something that's good for that kind of an actress, even as young as she is.
Yeah.
And she pulls it off. It's great.
She did. She pulled it off. She was awesome. She really is. So, Mr. Heyman, what's up for you over there? I know you're working all the time. I think we're just lucky to have you in this room at this moment.
Well, I'm lucky to be sitting down. We're doing a film called Highway to Hell, which is not a horror genre, but
not an AC/DC.
No, it's faith-based, actually. It's
interesting.
Giving a message, but with a little bit of sugar, not
preachy.
Not preachy. No.
No, I know your director, George Romero, right?
That would be nice. John Montiero.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wrong guy. Okay.
Romero would be interesting. I mean, but then it'd be blood and guts, and there is none of that.
I'm going to have to talk to to David, my producer, because he wrote that name down there. See, it's clearly written right here. And
I see that.
Okay, no, all right, sorry.
Off with his head.
I can't blame David on that one. Sorry about that. No, yes, he's a great director and a nice guy, too, as well.
I'll second that.
So, what else are you working on? I know you had a couple other little projects there that are in the wings. There are some events coming up, right?
Well, again, there is the cabaret we're doing. Just finished a film called Sidekicked, and with a bunch of Briff people, and it was a lot of fun. This is one thing about the job. It's not work. It's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll do this till they carry me out.
Yes.
And make sure that it's a part that I'm playing so that I get paid for it.
Well, one thing about Alan Heyman, though, is that he is a guy that likes to share his experience and pass it down to the newer generation. And that's why he's one of the most sought-after actors in South Florida. He will do, he'll do your student films.
Oh, yeah.
And he'll bring his experience to your projects. And we all thank him for that. We're all very happy to have somebody like Alan that's willing to give of himself to that point?
Well, Rick, it's very exciting to work with some of these young student filmmakers, because some of them are so good. And, they're doing me a favor, too. I learned from them.
Wow.
And some of the quality of some of their work is really very good.
So, let's see. Why would you recommend, if I'm an actor and I'm in South Florida, am I going to say, well, I'm not going to do student films because, I need to get paid for what I do? What do you think about that?
Unless you are, and even if you were a success of, already and making money and everything, even then you should give back and do things like that. But if you're still on your way up, it's still good to be meeting these people, getting the experience, and also you can get some footage for your actor's reel, which every actor in this day and age should have. With the advent of the computer and digital type of recording, every actor today needs a good reel.
And a variety of stuff to show. You don't want to just see yourself in one role. So,
what is a good reel? What would you guys say is a good reel for an actor to have? Well, what kind of things should they put in it?
Well, there are two types of reels. There's the commercial, and then there's the regular one that you're doing auditioning for a part in a actual play or movie. It's a very quick series of situations that allow you to show the widest range that you have and show it well. And the quality of it should be good. It has to be good, just like a regular film.
All right. So let me ask you guys, your favorite, you're an actor too, obviously, Doug?
Very good one.
Do you have a favorite thing you like to do? Is it comedy, drama?
Well, I've done a lot of comedy, but, I've done a few dramatic pieces. I was in a Kurt Vonnegut short that Bruce Funigman got permission to shoot, submitted into the Palm Beach Film Festival, and that was a real honor to be in a Kurt Vonnegut short.
He's quite
and
a
it was
writer.
And it was discovered after he had passed away, so he got permission from the author's estate to film it and produce it.
What was the name of that?
It was called The Happy Hooligan.
All right. Well, it looks like we're coming to the end of our show. Is that right?
That's what that means, yeah.
Okay.
Getting good at this.
Well, I'm just got to say I'm very honored to have you guys on my show. And I hope
May I give the phone number one more time?
Please do, for the Burt Reynolds.
561-743-9955 for the Burt Reynolds Institute.
Yep.
You want to take some acting classes or screenwriting or improv?
Yes, great institute, you guys. Follow them up. Learn your craft and help us all out down here. Anyway, Rick's show on the radio. We'll see you next week. We got the Black Bats playing, and I'm not really sure who's going to be doing our acting sequence, but it'll be somebody almost as cool as Allan Heyman and Doug Rill. All right, see you folks next week.
From high atop 1926 Hollywood Boulevard, you're listening to SoFloRadio.com.